Hello, 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 everyone. How is everyone doing? Okay, give me a second, guys. Well, awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, guys. Hello, hello, hello. Give me a second here, guys. I'm going to. This is what I need. I'm going to do this. Okay. So we're on to do some more readings. If anybody is interested, please say hi. Let me know you guys are watching if you're watching. So for those of you who are new to my channel or new to my live stream, let me introduce myself. My name is Mystical Essence. I am an intuitive tarot card reader, oracle card reader, a spiritual mentor, and astrologer. I love helping empower people. That is why I got into tarot reading in the first place. And that is what I hope to do with all of these readings that I do for you all. So I have been reading tarot for 5 years now, almost. So it's been a bit. Not an overly huge amount of time, but long enough. If you guys have any questions about how I read, what I can read on, anything like that, please feel free to ask away. Drop your question in the comments. I will definitely answer that. Before we get into this as well, I want to go over just some basic house rules. Okay. So, here are the rules I have. So first of all, you can donate using the link in the pinned comment for a priority reading or guaranteed reading. These give you specific questions. So if you guys really, really, really need a reading, or you have a specific question that you need a reading on, there is a link to donate. There is no set amount for donations. You can donate whatever you can afford, okay? I do not do health or pregnancy questions or legal questions. So I can answer any other questions except for those ones. If you want a free reading, all you have to do is comment your name. I will read who I am drawn to. I do not do specific questions for free readings. So if you guys have a specific questions, those are donations only. Okay. But if you want a free reading on whatever comes through the cards, I am more than happy to do that for the people I'm drawn to. Okay, and all you have to do for that is comment your name. If you receive a free reading and you want a longer reading, or you want a reading on something else, please donate. Again, the donation link is in the pinned comment. Please use your manners, be respectful, because being disrespectful will get you, or rude will get you blocked. If you're not sure if I'm seeing your comments, instead of going me, please just drop your question, drop a question, say, can you see me? Are you seeing my comments? That kind of thing into the comments. I will let you know if I'm seeing them. If I don't respond, then there's a good chance I'm not seeing your comments, okay? If you get a reply to your comments, if you are on Facebook and you get an inbox or friends request offering readings, these are scams, please block them. They are not legit. Okay? I don't want to see anybody get scammed for money. Hello, Jessica. Okay. So with that being said, I think that's all. Let me share this out to a few places and see if we can just get a few more people in here. I gotta do this to share it. Okay. Use my profile. Just want to share this out. Perfect. Okay. Awesome. I'm gonna go back to my other profile because okay. Yay. I think we got it. Hello, Irene. You made it. Yay. Awesomeness. It's going good. I can't complain. It's going. Yeah, we might switch back to Etsy because Etsy has some new, they're implementing some new stuff that I like better than PayPal, so I might switch back to just selling from my Etsy, but we'll see. I'm trying to get a feel for something. I know I'm back and forth, guys. I apologize with the payments. Usually it's either Etsy or PayPal. Yeah, or Etsy is implementing a new policy that if people file complaints for whatever reason and it gets refunded, the payments don't come out of my pay. Etsy refunds them out of Etsy's money. So the creators and the sellers don't actually lose money. So I like that better. And I think that works well. So that's one reason I might be switching back to Etsy. Okay. Hello, Cunningham. So, yes, I need to. That is what I need to do. Give me a second, guys. I have my notifications switched to just a number, but that doesn't really help me when I'm doing these lives because then I can't see if any payments come through. Open. My PayPal. Cool. What's my pendulum? Set it down. Okay. Irene, there's a heat wave there. Yeah, it's hot here too. We were supposed to get a thunderstorm, but it was so hot that it pretty much just like drizzled and there was some lightning and thunder, but that was about it. We got nothing. We got nothing. Nothing. Irene, perfect. I just got your payment, my dear. So, Irene, what is your question, my dear? Oh, I wanted a storm. It just like sprinkled and that's it. I was a little disappointed. But I'm not really disappointed because last month we had a huge storm rush through here and 2 tornadoes actually touched down in the same day at the same time in different parts of the city. So I think I've had my fill. I shouldn't want to see storms, but I like watching storms. Irene, what did you want me to do? How? I'm bumping my knee. Irene, what did you want me to do a reading on, my dear? I got your payment. I just need to know what you want me to pull cards on. Yeah, I'm clumsy. Your question. Yes, I need a question. I need a question. I got your payment. I need your question. Okay, there we go. Any messages from my mom? Perfect. I can check that out for you. Let's see. Oh no, these are the cards that don't have anything written on them. Just let me have the booklet in here. Perfect. Okay. Sorry, I pulled the deck that the major arcana are just the Roman numerals, and we're gonna put this back. Message. Message does she have? Ooh. Oh. She died in 2018. Okay. Well. Okay. Interesting. Let me see. Hold on, I just gotta check to see what this one card is. Well, these are the funky ones. Okay. I have to get the funky deck today. I don't know why. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Okay. So 5 is the devil. And then what is the dragon? Unicorns, griffins, phoenix, dragons. Dragons are the king. Okay. Coolios. So, we have the death card coming up. I'm gonna say that's, I did say that's a death card, right? This deck is, okay, so I don't usually look at the books because I can read them without it, I swear. That's not the death card, it's the devil card. But as you can see, there's just Roman numerals here. There's actually no name for this card, so I literally have to look in the book to figure it out. So we have the devil card, we have the King of Swords. We have the Ace of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, the Unicorn, which in this deck is the Page. So we have the Page of Wands reversed and the Page of Cups reversed. The High Priestess. I don't decide, my guides decide. And the Three of Wands. Okay, so I think that's Wands. Is that Wands? That better be Wands. Oh my god. So I go to whatever deck I'm intuitively pulled to when I'm choosing decks, but some of my decks are really, really, really funky decks, as you can see. And they have different suits. Books as wands. Okay, yeah, I was reading that right. Okay. So, yeah, I intuitively pick the decks. Sometimes I'll use my pendulum, but definitely not just me picking decks. Yeah. So what I got, I instantly heard rebirth of some sort. I don't know if you believe in reincarnation or not, but when I seen that Ace of Pentacles come up, you said she's been gone how long? She died in 2018. That's like not that long ago. I am not an expert on how long it takes spirits to reincarnate if they like when they choose to reincarnate. But I did hear rebirth, and that to me represents reincarnation. Um, so there's a chance that she may be coming back or thinking about coming back. Um, we do have the Devil card with the King of Swords coming up, so I do feel like um give me a minute here. Interesting. They keep pulling me back to this rebirth, and they're not giving me anything more than that. And this is really, really frustrating for me because I don't know where to go with that. I feel like there was a lot of the challenges when she was alive, and I don't think she has regrets now, but I do feel like either she has a wish that she could come back and correct it, or she is actually really literally thinking of reincarnating in order to correct mistakes that she has made. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that if she chose to reincarnate that you would come in contact with her, but I feel like she may reincarnate into situations similar to what she kind of put you into so that she could balance out that karma. Because that's what I'm getting. I keep hearing I'll correct. Like she wants to correct things. Did you and her have a very close relationship? Like, were you in contact at all? Because I feel like she has even attempted since crossing over to reach out to you, but she hasn't been very successful. They just keep pulling me back to this rebirth, and they're like, it's just gonna correct things. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing like with the King of Swords, that generally indicates like a good, strong, solid communication. But the devil's in front of it, which means like sometimes that communication could be cut off or limited, right? Like at times there may have been periods where you guys just didn't talk, but I feel like there's something she wishes that she could do different, that she almost wants to come back and correct that mistake. And she's like, I've tried to reach out and I've tried to communicate. Because we do have the Page of the Page of Wands and the Page of Cups coming up, which the Page of Cups is really about bringing in news. And it's like maybe she's tried to communicate through dreams and through energy and has just had a lot of challenge doing it. And it almost feels like she feels like it'd be easier to do it. I don't know. The Ace of Pentacles. Let me see if I can pull some clarification on this. You've had dreams about her? Yeah, she's trying to communicate, but I feel like she's definitely hasn't. If she's been thinking about reincarnating, she hasn't done it yet with the High Priestess card. She's still kind of in the ethereal realm. But let me see if I can get some clarification on this Four of Wands. Okay. Well, I got this feeling to tell you that she's coming back in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. The Ten of Cups and the King of Wands. Oh, okay. I don't even know what to think of that. Okay, so I am picking up on a really strong sense that she is considering coming back. And I think maybe that's her message, is she'll be back. Because that's all that's coming through. It's like she had some regrets and some demons that she wants to face and conquer. And she wants to come back to correct things or do something differently. I think she's just waiting for her opportunity. I know that's going to sound weird. It could be. It might not have anything to do with you. But she might want you to know that she is coming back. I don't think that what she has to correct has anything to do with you, because that's really the only thing I picked up on is she's coming back. Like that rebirth was like instantaneous, and then the messages just like kind of, that was it. It was like rebirth. She's coming back, and then there was like regrets and stuff, but I don't think the regrets were like really necessarily tied in with you. Unless she, regretted going those long periods of time not talking to you, but I I don't feel like that's the case. Like she seemed very happy. But when I pulled cards to clarify that Ace of Pentacles, because sometimes that can mean like a literal pregnancy, right? A rebirth, or coming into a physical body, the start of a physical life. I got the Four of Wands, which is literally that transition card from one phase of life into the other. And it's almost like she's coming out of the spiritual and back into the physical for some weird reason. And then I got the Ten of Cups, which is family. And then the King of Soul, or King of Wands, which I'm not going to say she comes back as a male, but that that's like the weirdest reading I have had yet to date. I'm going to say that because I usually don't pick up on things like that. But maybe there's some comfort for you in knowing that she'll be back. Yeah. And the Three of Wands also has to do with travel. But it's waiting for that opportunity to kind of move forward to that form. So, so this is where it's gonna mess. I'm gonna show you. So you have the Three of Wands at the very end, like she's waiting for that opportunity, and then the Four of Wands came through as a clarifier for the Ace of. So it's like she's waiting for the opportunity to move through that door and to physically reincarnate. But I do feel like she's been considering it because there's definitely some things that she wants to come back and correct. It is a weird. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, of all the like messages to give to somebody, I'll be back. I feel like it's like Terminators. That's it. That's all you got for me. Like, um, yeah. I could pick up she had a lot of regrets, and I think she's trying to correct some stuff, or she wants to come back to kind of correct wrongs that she did or things that she regretted. I'll be back. I don't know. You never know. I've heard of stories where children have reconnected with families from their past lives. It's been really weird, but it does happen. So I'm not going to say that she won't come find you if she does reincarnate, but um I just found it weird because she didn't die, like she didn't pass on that long ago. Like 2018 wasn't that long ago, right? So I'm like thinking, what, 4 years? Like that's a fairly short span to be coming back. I mean, I wouldn't want to come back that fast. It is good. I think she probably wanted to give you some comfort through knowing that she'll return. Yeah, I wouldn't want to come back. I don't know. Maybe it'll be different when I actually cross over, but I mean, right now, I don't know if I would want to. But yes, she does communicate through your dreams as well as energy. But I feel like since she's been considering kind of transitioning, we're going to put it that way, or coming back, some of that has waned off. And that could be another reason why, is sometimes the spirits have a hard time communicating because it takes a lot of energy. So, it could get boring. But I do feel like when you pick up on her right now, it's either through your dreams or energetically speaking. Like you just energetically sense her. It's like you can feel her energy around you, if that makes sense. Because the Page of Wands was coming up as well. It's hard to get through to you. So what I keep hearing is hard to get through. It might get boring. She moved a scarf in your house? Yeah. That wouldn't surprise me. I feel like when I'm looking at this High Priestess card too, it's almost like she's done a lot of review. You see that book? It's like she's reviewed a lot of stuff and now she's like, no, I want to fix stuff. There's still shit I gotta do. Was that helpful? I feel like that was the weirdest message. I feel like that wasn't even really a message. Yeah. Oh, that's cute. Good morning, Scott. It was what you thought she would say? Okay. So it's not totally weird. I mean, honest to God, that was like, I don't usually get those kind of messages. Spirits aren't like, I'm coming back. Like, I'm thinking of reincarnating, tell them that. I'm like, wait, what? Oh, the interesting messages I have that come through. I am doing good, Scott. How are you? It's just so weird when you ask loved ones for messages and then the messages that come through are like totally out of left field. And you're like, wait, where did that come from? Oh, oh, is your arm healing? Hopefully it's healing. Dogs have really good perception. They can see things too that we can't typically. That's weird. Hello, Pam. Oh my goodness. Yeah, animals do funny things. Maybe she hangs around there a lot. She likes to be around where she grew up. That's cute. Oh, where'd she go? Oh my goodness, you still have 2 operations to go, Scott? Oh my goodness. Oh, I love these scam artists. Aw, she's a tiny thing. Oh, well, at least you're healing, Scott. That's the main thing, right? ChaNee, I'm gonna give you a reading because you were jumping out at me. Guys, these cards are a little funky, so you're gonna have to bear with me as I figure out what's what. Because instead of having kings, queens, knights, and pages, they have unicorns and griffins and dragons and something else. And then the major arcana are not labeled at all, so they're just Roman numerals. And unless I recognize the Roman numeral, which I am getting better at, I still have to look them up. So let's see your party 1000. That's cute. Let's see what's coming up for you. Ooh, okay, we got one card flying out, which is the 2 of Pentacles reversed. With, what's on the bottom? That card, and I don't know what that card is. That card is the Justice card. Oh. Interesting. Okay. It is a cool deck. So we have the 2 of Pentacles coming up reversed, and then on the bottom of the deck is the Justice card. Which is really interesting because what I'm getting from this is to remind you that balance is an illusion. So a lot of times we hear we need to bring ourselves back into balance, right? You know, you're out of balance this way, you're out of balance that way. whatever is out of balance in your life that you're stressing about, don't stress about it, because the balance is an illusion. So I'm going to explain it the way my guides explained it to me. And the way that they showed me is that if you were to see balance as like the horizon line, right? That is the point of perfect balance. But there's always a time where things are above the horizon line and things are below the horizon line. Everything is cycling, and things can't always be in balance, right? We need those highs and those lows, and then there's points of balance. So when we feel like everything's out of balance, and people are freaking out and they're like, oh my God, I got to rebalance it. Nothing is ever in balance, truly in balance. They may be in balance for a period of time, but guaranteed something is going to happen to throw them out of balance again. Now, it could throw it out of balance for the better, where you're doing better than expected, or it could throw you out of balance for the worse, where you know you're doing not as well as you expected. But either way, eventually things come out of balance, right? So enjoy the chaos of things, I'm going to say, while it lasts, okay? If you're going through a bit of a rough patch, know that it will end eventually. Things will even back out and they will balance back out. But it's just a matter of, you know, riding the wave, so to speak. Don't stress about it, because a lot of times we stress about, you know, stuff, and then we're like, well, how do we correct this? How do we bring this back into balance? And we don't. We just let it continue and trust that it'll be brought back into balance in the time that it needs to be brought back into balance. Yeah. Work and home life is always, always a struggle to balance. Always. But you notice how in ways it balances out, and I don't think people stop to think about this sometimes, and it took me a bit to stop to think about this too, though. We go through periods where we work, and then work slows down, and then we're home more, right? And we're like, well, this doesn't balance out. But if you take throughout the year the amount of time you're working, or even throughout your lifetime, the amount of time you work compared to the amount of time you're home, I guarantee, like, adding up the days, it would be pretty, like, you know, even though you go through those work periods, there's still those periods of relaxation as well. So, I mean, balance, I guess, is perception. That's why it's an illusion, because it's all in how you perceive it. We kind of view it as, you know, having that equal amount of time at work and equal amount of time at home, but sometimes it doesn't necessarily always work out that way. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Yeah, working from home has its own set of working from home has its own set of struggles for sure. I used to think that I would like working from home, and then I've been doing it for the past 3 years, and I do like it, but I found that since I've been working at home, I don't get out as much. So my social life has kind of dwindled, and I have become kind of a hermit. And now I'm being forced back out into the workforce outside of the house, which I guess is a good thing, because um, it takes me out of hermit mode and interacting with other people. Yeah, it's hard. And it's really hard working from home to separate your work life from your home life, because it's all right there. That's the other thing. Like, you know, there's a clear definition when you go to work and your workplace is outside of your home because you can go there and then you come home and you're like, it's over, it's done, and you leave it all there, right? But when your work is in your home or you work from home, sometimes it's a lot harder to set those boundaries too. I've fallen into that trap too, where you just find yourself working all the time. Yeah. Yep. All the time. You're very welcome. Hello, Christine. They are, okay. So I'm doing readings by donation if you have a specific question. I'm also doing free readings for the people I'm drawn to. So, if you are looking for a reading, you can comment your name, and if I'm pulled to you, if Spirit pulls me to you, I will pull some cards for you and see what message they have for you. If you have a specific question that you want a reading for, or you want a priority reading, there's a link to donate in the pinned comment below. There is no set amount, it's just donate whatever you can. Pay what you can. Because I know everybody's kind of in different spots at the moment. Yeah, Scott. I can imagine that helps because then you have to actually work to get into them. See, my issue is I'll get messages from clients and people wanting readings, and like it's like 10 o'clock at night, but I feel guilty for not responding. So then I find myself responding to people about readings when I should actually be in bed sleeping. I have to establish work hours. One of my friends was actually saying that to me today. It's like boundaries. Yeah, I know. I'm horrible with boundaries. I am a giver to my own detriment some days. It's not always the best thing. I'm learning to set boundaries because I can't. Otherwise, I will overgive and I'll give to my own detriment. And never a good thing. I would have a different office. You have a different office for each of your jobs. That keeps that space separate. I would think like that would be a good thing. Uh, mhm. Interesting. Okay. So here's a collective reading. It just randomly popped out as I was shuffling. So I'm assuming this card is for the collective, and we're going to go with that. So if this resonates with you, take it. If not, cool. So we have what is this? The mirror, the moon, the moon, the moon. I wanted to call it the mirror card, but it's not the mirror card. It's the moon card. So we're all right now being pulled, not necessarily to look at things, well, I think to look at things differently, but to look within ourselves as well. And the message of this card is to don't get caught up in illusions of what you think things are, because the reality could be very different from what you're seeing. So sometimes it's easy to get caught up in our perceptions of things. And I'm seeing this a lot in the collective, where all we're seeing is what we want to see instead of seeing the actual reality of things. Like I was scrolling through some social media today, and for the amount of unity I'm seeing coming in, there's also so much division. And there's a lot of people who are fighting to unite and to bring everybody together and fighting for people to see everybody for being the human they are. And then there's a lot of people that are just wanting to divide constantly, left and right. And it's really, we need to start trusting our own intuitions and stop going by the pretty picture that everybody paints. Okay? It's time to open our eyes and start seeing the reality of things and seeing both sides of that. It's not just seeing one side, because we can't understand a full picture from one side. There's always two sides to each story. So when you're being given a perspective, make sure you're getting both perspectives. And then make your decisions, okay? Because sometimes what we think is reality is not reality. People do, they do, Scott. I will agree with you there. It's disappointing for me, because I look at, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who's like looked back through the history books, and we only have to look back to history to see where division has gotten us. I mean, you look at the Holocaust, you look at what's happened through slavery with the blacks. You look at what's happened with the residential schools with the natives, and where all that division has ever gotten us in history. Nowhere good. But yet people continue to do it. If it's not if it's not skin color, it's something else, like, you know, religions even, or all this stupid stuff. And to me, I mean, at the end of the day, we're all born, we all die, we all live human lives, we're all human. I mean, nobody's really above the other. We're no different. We all exist in human bodies. No matter our skin color, our beliefs, whatever the case may be. It's not just skin color. I use skin color as an example, but I mean, there's also feuds going on between religions and stuff that has been going on for centuries as well. Like, nothing good has ever come from division. And I'm hoping that we can learn from the past and pick a different path and start uniting instead of dividing. But Christine, I'm gonna pull some cards for you because I'm pulled to you. So if you guys want a reading, there is a place to leave a donation if you have a specific comment that you want a reading on, or specific comment, specific question that you want a reading on. There is a link. It is a PayPal link, but there is also an option there when you click on the link to use a credit card or debit as well if you don't have PayPal. Okay, because I know not a lot of people use PayPal anymore. So yeah, there is also that option. There is no set, you know, minimum amount. It's just donate whatever you can. If you guys want, if you're interested in a free reading, I'm doing free readings for whoever I'm pulled to. I'm not doing specific readings for the specific questions for the free readings, though. It's just whatever comes through the cards, whatever message Spirit has for you. Whatever message Spirit has. Let's say no, Irene did that. Why are you sending me those? Okay. So that's how these are working. I don't see anybody from YouTube on tonight. I did these a few days ago, and there was a lot of people from YouTube on. Today it doesn't seem to be. Christine, there you are. Like, where'd you go? Let's see. What's the message? What message do you have for her? We have. It's not death. Death and the Four of Wands is coming out for you. There is a change coming up for you, I feel like. That's going to involve stepping into a new phase of life. And what that change is, I'm not sure, but be prepared. I feel like whatever the next stage of stage that is coming up for you is, it will definitely be more steady, more stable, and more solid for you. So if you've been in kind of an unstable situation lately, or one that's been kind of erratic, things are going to stabilize out, okay? But it's going to involve changing some things up and leaving some things behind, okay? It's time to leave the past behind you and move forward with things into this new chapter. whatever that is. Coffee is always good, Scott. Scott, I can definitely pull some cards for you. You pull cards for me every week, so I mean, let's be realistic. The least I can do is pull some cards for you. Okay. Let's see what comes up. These cards are like really kind of... I want to use playing cards. I did a reading with playing cards not that long ago, and it was really interesting. Okay, message for Scott. Here's my Phoenix. Phoenix, Phoenix, Phoenix. Phoenix is what? Phoenix is the Queen of Swords. Okay, Scott. Yeah. It works like that for me. It works like that for me. It's the exchange thing. Just work with me here. Okay, we have the Justice card coming up, which is really interesting, and then we have the Queen of Swords, which is the Phoenix in this deck. So what I was drawn to in the Justice card, oddly enough, it's funny that the Queen of Swords comes up and then you can see the big person with the sword in the background there, and then the scales of justice. Um, so I got to keep speaking your truth, keep spreading whatever message you have to the world because you hold some big messages that people need to hear. So whatever you're feeling called to express or put out there, whether that be like information from work, information from cards you pull, whatever the case may be, put it out there because there is a big message. You hold some big knowledge and some big intuition and some big messages that people need to hear. Okay, don't shy away from just don't shy away from that and keep that to yourself. The world definitely needs to hear it. The Phoenix. It's the Queen of Swords, right? So speak your truth, my dear. I can't get over how big that dude is. It's like whatever you have to say is big. Big. Or people are gonna view it as big. It's like gonna blow people's minds. I'm not sure what this is, but like that's kind of cool. Nice. Awesomeness. Well, that's good. Keep doing it. It was like that it just jumped out at me. You're very welcome. Stephanie, I'm doing good. How are you? See, what's that saying? Set some fire to the flame. I keep hearing set fire to the flames, but that doesn't make any sense. I feel like that's a song from somewhere. I almost want to Google that because I'm like, oh, well, thank you, Scott. And thank you for all the readings you do for me as well. I appreciate it. I know I don't get a chance to respond a lot every week to you, but it does mean a lot. Set fire to the rain. Thank you, Irene. It was close. I said flame. I'm hearing it. I was like, that doesn't make sense. I'm glad we have some music fanatics in here. I'm like, I know it's a song. I can never think. I have like the weirdest things pop in my head. That's the way Spirit's been communicating with me lately. Like random songs or titles will pop in my head of songs, and I'm like, I don't know what symbolism this has, but you know, here's what I'm getting. The other day, it was like some dance song that I couldn't get out of my head. I'm like, apparently people need to dance. I like Adele. I should have known that. So, Scott, people read with playing cards out there, not tarot. I don't know why my guides have been pulling me to that lately, to just use playing cards. But I have to familiarize myself with what suits connect to what diamonds represent, what diamonds connect to, what hearts connect to. I know hearts are cups, but I always get the rest of them all mixed up. I'm pretty sure spades is wands, clubs is pentacles, and diamonds is swords, maybe? Something like that. I can never remember them. I feel like if I do that, I'm definitely going to have to write out what suits correspond with what in the tarot, because the messages flew, they flowed a lot better. And the song's stuck in my head now. It keeps replaying. I got a job search tomorrow. I don't want to. I'm conflicted whether I should apply for one of the jobs or not. It's not a costume shop, but I don't know much about costumes. I'm not into cosplay or anything like that, so I'm not, but I think it'd be a cool place to work. But then when I pulled a card for whether I should apply for it or not, I got the Magician reversed, and I'm like, whoa. I mean, generally that's not a good card, but at the same point in time, I kind of like the place. I feel like it was telling me it's kind of illusional that I think it's going to be better than it actually will be. I've been slacking with applying for jobs. Hello, Tiffany. How are you? I am doing good. Other than other than having songs stuck in my head, I'm doing good. The Adele song, it came through in one of the readings. I just did it. Now it's like stuck in my head. The Sapphire to the Rain. It came through in a reading and then now it's just stuck in my head. So now I'm gonna have to go listen to it when I get off this live just to get it out of my head. Or maybe it'll go away and I'll end up with another song. I love music. It's just it drives, I think it drives other people nuts because I'll get songs stuck in my head for like days at a time, and then it's like all I can, like, I'll walk around for days just humming and singing the same song. It gets stuck in my head. I love being so intuitive. It's interesting the way messages come through sometimes. I'm gonna raise my chair up a little bit. Is half my head cut off, guys? Or is that okay? I feel like sometimes when I pull my chair up, I end up cutting half my head off. Which is never a good thing. Okay. Let's see. Tiffany. Let's see. Let's see. Is this the Hermit? This is the Hermit, I think. Let me double check this. I'm going to like take a marker and write what these are on the bottom of the cards, because this whole Roman numeral stuff doesn't work. It is. Yeah. So Tiffany, I got the Hermit for you. It's really interesting because I'm really drawn to the hand. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see that clearly. Depends on whether my camera will focus on it or not. Usually it doesn't when I hold cards up very close. But it's almost like I got this energy of like, you're a Virgo. This is your card then. That's funny. In this case, I got that don't be afraid. I got the message of don't be afraid to ask for help. Okay. So I was immediately drawn to the hand, and in the way this energy came through is like, I need some support. I don't even feel like it's necessarily help as much as it is support. So you don't have to go through everything alone. And that's one thing about the Hermit card is, you know, sometimes we isolate ourselves off from people and we tend to kind of go through everything alone and we try to deal with everything alone, I feel like this card is like, you know, if you need help, if you need support, if you need whatever you need, don't be afraid to put the offer out there. Don't be afraid to reach out and ask for it, because you're not as alone as you may think you are in dealing with a lot of things. Does that make sense? I also got the other thing that was coming through is don't give from an empty cup. So Virgos are extremely serviceable. We're going to say serviceable people. They like to assist people. They like to help people. My husband's a Virgo rising and has a shit ton of planets in Virgo, so I see this energy all the time, and he's always offering to help people. And he will, like, even if they don't have anything. So that bowl's empty, right? But you're like, here, you know, this is what I have to give. You can take the empty bowl, right? But you have to remember to fill yourself up too, okay? It's okay to give to people, but don't do it at your own detriment and leave yourself without, okay? Make sure you're taken care of too. Yeah. You're not as alone as you feel. You're not as alone as you may feel. Virgos have this like lone wolf kind of thing. Perfect, perfect. If anyone is looking for a reading, there are 2 ways to get one. You're very welcome. Bright shine, you've been feeling like a Virgo today. I think everybody has those days. I've been feeling that way for like the past week. I just don't. I just want to stay inside and not do much of anything. Although I guess that's not really Virgo. It is and it isn't. I think it's just the hermit energy where I just want to be inside. Virgos, at least, they learn. They're productive with their time alone. And me, I have not been productive. Yeah, I know a few Virgos. They're okay, guys. So I'm gonna explain how to get a reading. And you're a Taurus. Nice. Nice, nice. Lots of Earth people in here tonight. Virgos and Tauruses. I feel left out. I'm a Scorpio. I'm a water. But I have a Taurus moon, so I can't really say I'm all water. It's the only Earth placement I have in my entire chart, though. You love Scorpios? Yeah, we're either a love or hate. People either love us or they hate us, I find. We're one of those signs that people either completely love or they completely hate. And there just doesn't seem to be an in-between. Yeah, we are. And you're a Scorpio rising? Well, technically I'm a Libra rising. I shouldn't say I'm a Scorpio rising. I'm a Libra rising, but Scorpio's like 3/4 of my first house. Libra occupies like that much of my first house. So I think people see more of a Scorpio in me than they do Libra. You don't understand them. Yeah. That's the case. That's what intrigues a lot of people about us. Is people are like, we're mysterious and they want to crack the mystery. It either intrigues them or drives them insane because I've had a few people in my life that factor of me has like literally driven them crazy. They're like, I can't deal. Gone. Hey, do read from here, guys. So I'm going to explain how to get a reading. If you want a reading, there is a if you have a specific question that you want a reading done on, that you want me to look into, there is a donation link in the pinned comment. It is to PayPal, but there also is an option for debit or Visa. There is no or credit card, Visa, whatever. There is no minimum value. Just donate whatever you can, and I will be more than happy to answer your question. I do not do health or pregnancy or legal questions, though, but any other questions are game. I'm really good with like relationship questions or spiritual questions. That's my like area of expertise, it seems. And if you are, I am also doing free readings for anyone I feel drawn to. So if my guides pull me to you, typically it's because they have a message or somebody on your spirit team has a message that they really need to tell you. And in that case, all you have to do is comment your name. And from there, if I feel pulled, I will pull a card or some cards. I read whatever cards come out and give you the message that they have for you. So guys, if you have questions, you can donate through the link. If you donate, please let me know because sometimes it doesn't always come up for some weird reason. And I talk a lot, so sometimes I don't always see it come up either. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. There's earth, water, and you're an earth, water combination. Nice. Oh, yay. I'm going to block you and delete your comments. So, yeah. Yep. This is how we're doing it. I was going to say something and I totally lost my thought. Does anybody else have that happen? Like your thoughts are boom and then gone? It happens to me all the time. It's probably why I channel stuff. My brain works so fast a lot of times that like shit pops into it and then it's gone. Yeah. Irene, I have the same issue. It's so bad I'll be talking sometimes and like I have to like stop mid-sentence because my train of thought just completely gone. Completely gone. And then people are like, well, what were you gonna say? And I'm like, I don't even remember. I blame it on my Uranus in the third house that I have this very like erratic kind of communication style. Blame it on my astrology. I don't know how Aquariuses do it every day. I just don't. Everybody's gone. Where'd everybody go? I'm sad now. Tiffany, I'm gonna be on for about another 20 minutes. 20 minutes to half an hour. Irene, you wish you had chocolate. I wish I had chocolate. Chocolate's amazing. It's so addicting. You're gonna make me think about chocolate now, and then I'm gonna want chocolate with you. I was looking at like, so we had Rice Krispies, and on the side of the box there was like the scan code that said, you know, scan it for recipes, and I scanned it, and then there was like this pizza, and I don't think it was an actual pizza, but it was some sort of pizza that you could make out of Rice Krispies, and my son was all grossed out by it. He was like, "That's disgusting." I don't even know what was in it. I don't think it was actually like cheese and stuff on top of it. I think there was probably like some sort of candy or something on it, but I was like, you can have Rice Krispie pizza. And then of course he was coming up with like the grossest stuff to put on it ever. Hello, Stephanie. Najir. Ugh. I cannot pronounce names tonight, guys. I am sorry. Okay, guys, so if you have specific questions, there is a link to donate. There is no minimum for the donation. You can donate whatever amount you want, and I can answer your questions. If you want, I am doing free readings for people I'm pulled to, so if you're interested in just whatever message comes through the cards kind of reading, throw your name down, and if I'm pulled to you, I will definitely do that. Morgan, awesome, you just donated. Perfect. Why did it boot me out? Please tell me that I don't have to. I love PayPal, but at the same time, PayPal almost logs me out. Brittany. Brittany. Okay, Brittany. What's your question, my dear? I got your donation. I just need your question. Okay. This isn't usually the deck I use for these kind of readings, but we'll see what comes out. Aw, it happens to the best of us. Tiffany, perfect. Okay, so Tiffany, I will do you after Morgan. Just let me do Brittany's reading, Morgan's reading. Tiffany has been thinking about, has Dylan been thinking about Brittany? Has feelings towards her has been thinking about. Okay. Okay. So, Brittany, what we got? I don't think you're wasting your energy on him because I do see that there is some thought process going into this, but I see some hesitancy on his end as well. So we've got the Justice card coming up, which is the Libra card, which generally has to do with partnerships. Okay, and in this case, I feel like this is your partnership with him. Now, I do say that sometimes they're not always romantic, but I feel like in this case, because you're asking about him, that is it. We have the Seven of Pentacles coming up with the Phoenix. Let me see which one's the Phoenix. I think that is the Knight or the Queen. The Queen of Wands. Yeah, the Phoenix is the Queen. So the Queen of Wands reversed, the Seven of Pentacles, which is pretty much everything you just told me. We do have the Two of Cups coming up with the Hanged Man reversed coming up. And then we have the King of Swords with the Four of Swords. The King of Swords is reversed. So he's a Libra. Okay. I do see him with the Four of Swords coming up. I do see a thought process. Okay, so the Four of Swords is kind of laying in. So traditionally, and you can kind of see it in this card too, it's laying in contemplation, right? In the traditional Rider-Waite, it's the one with the like tomb, and then there's three swords over top, and then one sword underneath, and it kind of represents going into a deep contemplation about things. So I do think like he has been thinking about you. He's been thinking about the breakup. So I see a relationship. I see a lot of hard work getting put into things with the Seven of Pentacles. But yeah, the Queen of Wands comes up, which, especially when reversed, can represent jealousy, anger, aggression, that kind of thing. The fact that there is a third person in this Seven of Pentacles could, like I said, you said you got jealous over him contacting an ex, so that could be the third person involved. But I don't, which kind of led to two things. I think he's right now, he's in a state of contemplation, thinking about things, and he's kind of taken a step back. And it may seem like he's kind of not invested in things and he's not interested, but I think it's just to kind of clear his mind. Because the King of Swords, he's trying to make a decision, it seems like. With the Two of Cups reversed, there's obviously been a split, right? Not that, it's a final decision, because I don't think any final decisions have been made, especially on his part, considering the King of Swords is reversed. He hasn't like totally made any decisions about what he's doing, but it looks like he's taken a step back to kind of clear his head of the fog and get a perspective on things, if that makes sense. As far as feelings, see if I can. Yeah. Okay, so if you're not, well, okay, so the Two of Cups can be a relation. I think, okay, maybe I should clarify relationship. So a lot of people, when I say relationship, they think, it's romantic, but the Two of Cups can also be a friendship. It's a heartfelt connection with somebody else, okay, that obviously has been kind of broken, or put on pause. And like I said, I think he's just contemplating things. If he was considering even getting into a relationship with you, I think that's kind of. With the Handsman reversed, there's an issue of seeing things from one perspective and not being open and compassionate enough to see things from the other person's perspective. Well, maybe not compassionate, but not being willing to see things from another perspective. Okay, so the Four of Cups comes up. I think there's definitely some feelings there, but there's a break in things right now. So when I asked about feelings, the Four of Cups came up. So cups obviously represent some sort of emotion or emotional connection. So I do think there is like an emotional interest in you. It's just they're tired. I think they're tired. And they're, like I said, they're just taking a step back to contemplate things. And I would give them the space to do that. Don't make any judgments about things, okay? Don't snap to conclusions about things. Don't be, I want to say irrational, but I feel like that, don't jump the gun on things or think that he's not interested just because he takes a step back. He just needs time to clear his head and to get things together. I think he's trying. So the Justice card too talks about, making a choice or a decision, right? When you're in a court, you have to kind of figure out who's the judge. or the person in charge of enforcing justice has to make a decision about whether somebody's guilty or not. So he may be trying to make a decision about, you know, whether he wants to go further with things, whether he wants to keep things as on a friendship level, what he wants to do, or even where he wants to go with you, or even this other person. I mean, if you guys aren't, I keep seeing red, I keep hearing red flag. I think something popped up that triggered a red flag for him, and that's why he took a step back. I can literally even see the flag waving. They're like, there was something that occurred that kind of, it could have been the jealousy. Um, yeah, no, he hasn't lost interest. He's just contemplating things. Oh, he's dominant. Okay. But is he dominant in a good way or a bad way? Or maybe it's just, is that not your thing? I shouldn't poke and prod. I can understand why you took a step back. I wasn't sure who took a step back, but I was seeing like red flags and a step, like taking a step back. But I do feel like even if you took the step back, he may be contemplating, like that may have been a red flag for him as well, that maybe it's not as compatible as, you know what I mean? So you taking the step back could have been even the red flag for him as well. It could have worked both ways. Like you're seeing the red flag and you take a step back and then he's like, oh shit, well, she's backing up. Now that's a red flag for me, right? And then he backs up too. So just give him some space. Just give him some space. Let him work through whatever he needs to work through. I do think that he's just kind of processing things and going through things right now. But don't jump the gun. Don't cut him off. Don't, you know, anything like that. There's still some interest, but, you know, wait to see where he wants to go with things. And I think also, you know, making sure the two of you are compatible is another big thing. And that's something the Justice card talks about too. Like I said, the partnerships, making sure that you have those types of communications when he does come back, if he does come back. I think he will. But, you know, being able to come together and have a conversation and making sure that you're, if you want things to go further or not, you know, discussing that and making sure everybody's compatible and good with where things are at. The Seven of Pentacles also talks about cultivating things as well. So I feel like he's definitely interested in cultivating something, but again, whether it's a romantic or friendship, or it seems like he hasn't decided. I would send him a text. So my advice, based on the Four of Cups energy and the fact that he is thinking about you, I would send him a text, say, hey, you know, I'm just checking in. I just want to make sure you're okay or whatever, and leave it, okay? Leave it for him to respond. And if he doesn't respond, that's okay too. The thing I'm going to advise against is being very pushy with it though. Like, don't text him and then be like, I haven't heard from you. I want to make sure you're okay. And then, you know, you don't hear from him and you still continue to text and text and text and text because, you know, showing an interest that you care is okay. And I think he would appreciate that, but just be careful not to get too pushy with it. Which I don't think he will, because I don't feel that kind of energy from you, but that's what I got. Yeah, it's just, you know, light, friendly. hey, just wanted to make sure you were okay. You know, I'm here for support if you need it. If you need your space, I understand that too. You know, just letting them know you're still around, but you're not going to push for things. Yeah. The only problem with the distance thing is it's a very fine line with people, I'll be honest, between you know, giving them space and them perceiving that as you don't care. um so that's why, you know, when you said should I send them a text, I would send them a text, just let them, like I said, let them know you're still there and you care and that you're there for support. But then if he chooses not to text back, like leave the ball in his court. If he chooses not to reach out back, then, you know, at least you tried, right? And that shows that he just wants a space. You Scorpios tend to do that. Yeah. We back away. But we don't, okay, as a Scorpio, I can honestly say this, and as somebody who has 4 planets in Scorpio, I can honestly say this, that we don't back away. My Pluto is right over my sun, so I am like the epitome of a Scorpio energy. Um, we don't pull away because we're not interested. We pull away because we literally need that space away from people to regenerate ourselves. It gets exhausting for us to be constantly around people, and we need that space and that freedom from people to kind of regenerate ourselves. And sometimes when we're thinking about things, that's the only way that we can clear our heads, is to take that space. And, you know, Scorpios are known for their privacy, right? For reasons. We needed that privacy. We needed that space from people to kind of sort through things and to re-energize ourselves. So sometimes it's not even you. Sometimes we just kind of but a lot of people do take it the same way you did, that, you know, they just aren't interested. Or I've had that happen many, many a times. And I've had to explain to people that no, Libras are they're very connected. Libras like the communication. I think a lot of Libras worry when you don't communicate, but they like it to be balanced, though, like an equal partnership. That's their thing. Uh, but it depends on a lot of things. Like your sun sign is literally 1/10 of your personality. So, you know, it's only like a tiny sliver of who you are. So sometimes, you know, you get Libras that act very differently from typical Libras, right? Because they have strong placements elsewhere. So, yeah. I hear ya. I get that. But that's the thing about Libras, they don't really, for as much as they take action, they don't. Sometimes it's a test. So I'll do that too as a Libra rising. Sometimes I back away from people to actually test to see if they will reach out back. Um, but I don't think that's what he's doing. I think he's just trying to process things. So I think that he will value you reaching out to him and showing him that you're there. Just don't push it. You know? You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, I do have, who else do we have here? Tiffany and Jennifer. Okay, so Tiffany. Sorry, guys, I get very talkative. You can tell me to shut up. That's my Libra rising. and my Mercury in Scorpio. Tiffany. So Tiffany, I just need to know your question. I don't think, did you throw it in the notes here? No. Okay. I just need your question, Tiffany. You're very welcome, Morgan. Jennifer, you're Libra rising too. Nice. So we need to talk. I think I come on here more for the interaction with people than I do the readings some days. It's like, I just want to talk to people. Do you see me and my father separating by the end of this year? Kid's father. Kid's father. Kid's father. Why do I want to say father? Let's see what comes up. Okay, page of Taurus, a Libra moon, and Libra rising. Oh my goodness, Jennifer. I have a Taurus moon, a Libra rising, and a Scorpio sun. Okay, Tiffany, will her and her kid's father will separate? Hmm. I Okay, so yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so Tiffany, what we have coming up, we have the unicorn. The unicorn, which is equivalent to the page in this deck of Pentacles. We have the High Priestess card coming up, and we have the the King of Cups reverse coming up. Now, typically when I do like yes, no type questions, the uprights indicate yes and the reversed indicates no. And the fact that you have two uprights and one reverse indicates to me that there's probably a strong yes. The other thing that's indicating to me that you will move on is the Page of Pentacles indicates the start of a new journey or a new direction. Not necessarily a new journey, like a brand new journey, but it's a new direction in life. And I do see you kind of being alone for a bit. With this High Priestess, there's nobody there with her. She's alone. She's doing her thing. But with the King of Cups in reversed, I do see that there's possible reconciliation. So I see this more as a break than I do a permanent split. Like there could be a possible him returning or trying to come back, or you guys getting back together. The other thing is the Hierophant on the bottom of the deck, which generally represents commitments. A lot of people see this as the marriage card. I don't like to see it as a marriage card. I like to see it as a commitment. And the fact that there's two joining together. I don't know if you can see the two hands kind of pointing at each other. I'm getting the vibes of, you know, possibly coming back together later on. After a time of isolation. If that makes sense. Let me see if I can get a little bit more information here. Griffin. What is a griffin, right? Yeah. Okay. Hmm. I don't see you taking him back, though. Yeah. We've been together 14 years, but we are just here for the, yeah. So there's definitely a commitment. Um, Yeah, like I said, I don't see you taking him back because I just asked for some more information, and what I got was the Ten of Swords. And you can see in this picture, like, he's kind of pulling the woman, and it looks like the woman's kind of pulling away. And then the Knight of Swords came up reversed on the bottom as well. So it's like, you know, even if he comes back and he makes that offer and says, you know, take me back, I don't see you taking him back. You are going to be done, 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 done. But I do see him, like I said, just trying to come back or maybe refusing to let go. You may even have to be the one who ends it because he may not want to and make that move to end it. Because the energy I'm getting from the Ten of Swords is almost like a pulling you along. He's like, well, if I have to leave, then you got to come with me, kind of thing. And you're like, oh hell no, I'm done. I'm done. I am done. Yeah. No, I definitely see you guys ending it before. I do see you guys separating by the end of this year, but again, he may make it a little difficult or may even be resilient to separating, or he could come back. I see this more as a coming back because this is at the very end of the reading. After you've kind of, you're like, nope, I'm going this direction, you know, I'm done, I'm over it, moved on, and then he's like, no. I want to come with you. Any advice for Tiffany? I'm going to pull some cards for advice for you specifically and how to handle this situation because I feel like, yeah, you feel stuck. I get that. The Seven of Wands. Uh, mhm. Yeah. Okay. So handling this situation, you're definitely, we have the Seven of Wands coming up. We have the Magician card coming up. And we have the Four of Pentacles reversed. You're going to have to be the one, I feel like, to probably leave. I don't think he's going to leave willingly on his own. So your best way of, hold on, you're going to have to, I don't want to say shove him out the door, but you might have to. Um, so either it's going to come down to you shoving him out the door and telling him to leave, or you leaving yourself. But I really don't, with this Magician card and the way he's kind of pointing, like, get out, I don't see you necessarily leaving. But I do see you, like, kind of shoving him at the door, but that may take some backup. You may need some people to kind of help you make him leave, because I don't think he's going to on his own. It's going to be tough, especially with that Four of Swords, or that Four of Pentacles reversed. But the Four of Pentacles reversed is like the breaking. They keep showing me a home that gets broken open. So that's, I feel like that's a symbol for him leaving. I don't want to say broken home, but you know, when people split up, a lot of people refer to that as a broken home. Um, I don't like that term personally, but I feel like the stability in the place that he calls home will no longer be home. And you're gonna have to stand your ground with this, okay? So like I said, he's either going to come back or he's going to refuse to leave, and you're just going to have to be strong and literally force him out if you have to. Yeah, that's understandable. No. Well, you know, I feel like it's going to come to an end by the end of the year. So that's something to look forward to. Just know that there could be some challenges in that come up, and be prepared for that. You know, if he refuses to leave or he comes back, just make sure that you're ready to kind of deal with that. I agree with Jazzy. Yeah. I agree. Coming from a home where I, for the first 7 years of my life, seen my mom and my dad kind of at each other's throats constantly. I mean, when they split up, I was a well, sort of happier child. I wasn't upset they split up. That was a whole other, I was unhappy for other reasons, but um, you know, kids do pick up on that as well. And as a parent, the best thing you can do is be happy, because your kids will see that. And you want to set an example for your kids too, right? Like, your kids learn from you. And if you're willing to tolerate that stuff, then it teaches them that they should tolerate it too. You're very welcome, Tiffany. I hope that was helpful. Why did it log me out again? I just verified this to trust. Oh. Sorry, guys. Okay. Yeah. Awesome, Tiffany. Perfect. Well, I'm glad that that was helpful. Jennifer. Morgan, you just texted him. That's awesome. Well, hopefully he responds. Okay, Jennifer, what is your question? I gotta find you here. Where are you? You are. Okay, I'll just need your question, my dear, and then I can do your reading for you. Guys, thank you for all the donations. You guys are awesome. It was cute, Morgan. I'm sure he will get a smile out of it. If not, then he needs to lighten up. Everybody needs a smile once in a while. Oh, thank you. I try. There's times I get some really weird stuff that comes through the cards though. Oh. If you guys have questions, the donation link is in the pinned comment. Feel free to leave a donation of any amount. It does not matter, whatever you can afford. I know everybody is kind of struggling right now. So, yeah, and I can answer specific questions. Okay. Oh, well, thank you, Tiffany. You guys are so awesome. Jennifer, let's see what comes up for you. Typically, like I said, this isn't my relationship deck, so I'm kind of shocked that I'm getting so many relationship questions because I do have a deck that typically comes out when I have a lot of relationship questions come up. But I feel like this deck kind of stretches me a bit. So we'll see. What can you tell me? Advice for Jennifer in regards to what she's. Okay. Wow. Let's see. Oh, you guys are awesome. Whoa. Okay. Wow. Okay. Whoa. Okay. So first of all, I'm seeing a lot of anguish with this marriage. It's the Three of Swords is coming up on the bottom of this deck reversed. So they're still kind of sitting in and holding on to a lot of pain. And this I feel like is older pain. There's been a lot of challenges in your marriage from what I'm seeing in these cards, and a lot of things that that have caused a lot of hurt. Okay, now these are major arcana cards, so give me a minute to let me figure out, because as you can see, there's no words on these, so I gotta figure out which card is which. I do know that this one is the Justice card, and this one is the Devil card. And this one is the, I'm not sure, card. This one is the one I need to look up. The this is so professional of me. It's the I'm not sure card. I'm honest. I'm honest. Okay. So it's the Star card reversed. So there's a sense of, yeah, it's kind of left you feeling really kind of hopeless. I don't feel like you feel hopeless in, it's like it's this feeling that comes through, there's no point. Like, you kind of, in that sense, like, what is the point to keeping things going? Or you're questioning the points and things. And when I say point, I mean, like, what's the point in keeping things going? What am I doing? I keep hearing the phrase, what's the point in this? So that's the Star card, right? When it's reversed, it's like it lacks optimism. It lacks, hopefulness and healing. And there's just a lot of hurt in this relationship that's going on. And this kind of keeps you. Hmm. Okay, so the Devil card is coming up as well. And I don't want to say there's a lot of devils in this, because I feel like this is your. So when the Devil card comes up, sometimes that can indicate demons that we battle with, for me. And I feel like your demon and your struggle right now is whether to stay or whether to go. Whether to keep this going or whether to not. Am I right? It's like you want a balanced relationship. You want a committed relationship. You want an equal relationship, because the Justice card is coming up behind that. You want a fair, balanced, and equal relationship, but it doesn't seem to be that way. Okay. But see, what's the point? Why even bother is coming from a desire to have an equality and not having equality. Does that make sense? I know that sounds really weird, but um yeah. So the way I'm seeing it is like there's this Justice card which represents commitment, right? Can't even represent partnerships. It's Libra. Libras rule the 7th house, which are committed partnerships with people. But Libras are also very like social people, and they are very partner oriented. They need partners. I hate to say it. And then there's your star card reversed, which is like cut it loose, walk away. And then there's like the devil in the middle of it. And you're like, okay, so which way do I go here? Do I stay and stick this out? Do I cut it loose? Do I walk away? Like, what do I do? Right? How do we have the Ace of Pentacles is coming up. The Knight of Pentacles is coming up. And the Four of Wands is coming up. And then we have the Ace of Cups coming up. So aces talk about self. They talk about focusing on yourself. They can also talk about new things or new beginnings of things. But I feel like you need to focus on you. Okay. You're like, what do I do to help him? What do I do to get what I want? And you're not really focused on you. You have also said that you have allowed a lot to happen that you probably you've allowed a lot and you should know better to do so. Yeah. You need to start standing the solid ground in yourself to make you happy. Okay. And you need to start focusing on yourself. I'm going to star your other question in a minute and I'll come back to that. Yeah. See, that's the problem, I think, is a lot of the focus is put on him and making, what do I do to fix him? What do I do to fix the marriage? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And there's a big ass bug, sorry. Anyways, I don't know where that went. Okay, what do I do? And again, the fact that the bug flew in front of me and distracted me, I feel like it all kind of fits into this, that's just a distraction from what you really need to be doing, which is focusing on yourself. So stop distracting yourself with him, as I say that and it flies down, and start focusing on you. What do you want? What do you want to accomplish in life? What do you want to do? What is going to make you happy? What is going to fill your cup, right? Because I tell people this all the time, we only live one life. At least this lifetime anyways. I mean, if you believe in reincarnation, we do come back, but we only live this lifetime once. And it's very short. So make the most out of the time you have. If you're not happy, then what do you do to make yourself happy, right? And is this something that he can get in on or not? I feel like a lot of boundaries have to be set and firm boundaries have to be set. Okay. Firm boundaries. You will see if he really wants to work and he really wants to do the work. Because I kept hearing he'll either step up or he'll step up. It's not up to you to fix him, it's up to him to fix him. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's just a matter of to the communication, right? You guys kind of got to sit down and say, like, look, this is where you're at, this is where I'm at. With the Knight of Pentacles coming up, it talks about, you know, possibly making a plan or at least talking to each other about where you want to be as opposed to where he wants to be and seeing where everything fits together, right? Because I feel like there's a lot more to this than, like, I feel like I'm just scratching the surface with this. Um, but I think in essence it comes down to what you want. Like, if you don't see yourself being happy with him and you've communicated what you can and he still hasn't changed and you know that things aren't going to change, right? Then it's time to do you and move up and move on. It if there's been some things that have been bothering you that maybe haven't been communicated, those need to be communicated, definitely, and talked about so that you're both on the same page. Um, and again, he's either going to want to fix it or he's not. And if he doesn't, and you're not happy, and it's not going to change, then move up and move on because you need to, again, make you happy. Um, as far as what you need to prepare for, I'm going to pull some cards on that. What is it that she needs to prepare for? Oh, 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 oh. Okay. Really interesting that those come out because it's not the Temperance. I think that's the Temperance card. Yeah. Yep, 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 yep. Let's see if I can get a little bit more information about this because I'm. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Wow. It's interesting because what came up, and this is what had me so confused. We have the Two of Pentacles coming up upright. Then we have the Temperance reversed coming up, And both of these cards talk about balance. But one's upright and one's reversed, which is really weird. Because this says things are out of balance and you need to prepare for things out of balance. And then this says you need to prepare for things in balance. And that was where I was a little like, well, which is it? But then they pulled me to the fact that in this Two of Pentacles, it's like they're chasing the ball. Or the pentacle down the tree. And I kept hearing getting the ball rolling. So I think you need to start the process of taking care of you, making yourself happy, and just kind of see where things go. I feel like there is an imbalance and you kind of need to prepare for things to be keep hearing chaos. For things to be a little bit tilted off, out of balance. But eventually you're going to have to prepare to make a choice and to, because the Two of Wands also came up with the Nine of Wands. And the Two of Wands talks about needing to make a choice about what action you're going to take. And then the Nine of Wands is about independence and past experiences. You know, learning from your mistakes, looking at past behaviors. You may have to look at past behaviors in the past in order to make the decision that you need to make. Okay, and in essence, once you make that decision, you've got to let that ball roll, even if it means freaking chaos. Okay. So the Ten of Pentacles comes up, which is typically an ending of some sort, but there is understanding coming from this. I almost feel like you need to make up your mind and go with it. You need to be prepared. Definitely be prepared to make a choice of some sort, because there's two twos coming up. To make a decision in which direction you want to go, and then be prepared to see it through. Because you're going from 2 all the way to 10. So you need to be prepared that once you start things, to see them through to the end. Whatever it is you choose to start, you make that decision to get the ball rolling on. Even if, like I said, it turns things completely upside down, inside out, whatever, you need to be prepared to see that through. Does that make sense? It is scary. It can be scary. I mean, it depends on the decision and how you feel about that decision. But ultimately, it's your decision and what to do and where to go, and, you know, whether you want to stay and try and work things out or go. And I feel like right now, the most important thing you can do is focus on you, and then the rest of it will become clearer as you focus on you. Like what actions you need to take, which direction you need to go with things will all become clearer when you start focusing on you and tapping into your wants, needs, and desires and what emotionally fills you. Once you step into that energy, then everything else will be a lot more clear to you as far as what the next steps should be. But that seems to be the first and initial steps, considering 1 and 1 is coming up. Like, these are the first and initial steps, is to focus on you and, you know, and then take the next steps from there. Yeah, but sometimes you can't create balance and harmony. I mean, that's the curse of having Libra energy. Jennifer, you said you were like a double Libra, right? And Libras are notorious for wanting to create balance. You're a Taurus and Libra. Yeah. Libra moon, Libra rising, and a Taurus. Okay. Yeah. That makes more sense. Okay. Yeah. So your Libra rising and your Libra moon crave the balance. And I get that. But the thing about Libra is that I've had to learn, and I love this because well, I don't love this. I'm not going to say it to you. But this is why I love having an Aries sister, because she's like the opposite. Aries is the opposite energy of Libra, right? And the things that Libras can learn from Aries energy is to focus on themselves, right? Libras want to fix everything. We do. That's our nature. I'm a Libra rising too, and my initial nature, and I have a Venus in Libra, so when it comes to my partnerships with people, my friendships, I want to fix everybody. I want there to be balance and, you know, peace and harmony, and I want to make everything better, but sometimes we can't. And sometimes we have to start focusing on us. And I think that's where, you know, kind of, and that's hard for Libra. I'm not going to, because they are very focused on the other. Like, they don't rule that area. It isn't a sign connected to that area of life for no reason. You both have Venus and Gemini. Ugh, yeah. Venus and Gemini isn't that bad, actually. I find like they really enjoy talking and communication is pretty. But the challenge with Venus and Gemini is having those deep conversations, because Gemini is typically so lighthearted and so kind of airy and innocent and childlike, right? That, you know, having deep conversations sometimes it's really hard. um but yeah, I would say to balance out your Libra energies, try focusing on yourself. And that's part of partnership, right? And the other thing I have to, partnership works both ways. If he's not willing to fix things and make things and you're not happy, then again, you only live this life once. You need to be happy. And sometimes we just outgrow people too, which is something I've really been struggling with. As a Libra, Libras don't like to let things go. Venus is in Gemini, like those very light-hearted, you know, playful kinds of relationships. Having those, you know, communicating some of that stuff. Depends on where your Mercury is, though, too. There's a lot of things, but with both of you with Venus and Gemini, I would think that you guys would be kind of similar, but that's almost scary because it's like you both have very similar relationship styles, maybe too similar. Yeah. Oh, Tauruses are stubborn, I know. I have a Taurus moon. I laugh because people tell me I'm too stubborn all the time, and I'm like, I'm a Libra rising with a Scorpio sun and a Taurus moon. Two, my sun and moon are both in fixed signs. I know I'm stubborn. I'll openly admit that. My whole chart is predominantly fixed energy. I'm very aware I'm stubborn. But stubborn isn't always a bad thing. You just gotta do you, though. Make sure you're happy too. But I really do feel like some sort of shift. Like once you start focusing on yourself, there's gonna be a bigger shift in energy, and I feel like the way forward is just gonna become so much clearer for you. I don't know if it's a tower moment. The way I was seeing it and they were showing it, it was like everything. Well, I guess you could call it a tower moment in the fact that everything that was limiting you kind of breaks open, and suddenly, the confinement that you found yourself in is not. There's a freedom to that. Why does PayPal keep logging me out? Yeah. Jennifer, does that answer what you were wanting to know? Awesome, Kim. Thank you for donating. You're very welcome, Jennifer. Just focus. Yeah, the main thing I got was focus on you. That was what they were really kind of emphasizing. Kim, yes. Let me look into that for you. Oh, okay. He's curious. Let's see. Let's see. Towards Kim. Okay. Okay. So Kim, whoa, what is that? Okay. Um, Sorry, I had to pull that back. I was gonna put it down and they're like, no. Okay. So we have the Page of Swords coming up. We have the Ten of Cups coming up with the Ace of Wands. Okay. We also have the Knight of Pentacles reversed and the Four of Wands reversed. And then there's the Queen of Wands reversed on the bottom of the deck. So what I'm getting from this is he's curious. Okay. Steve definitely with the Page of Swords, this is like a curiosity, like a childlike curiosity. You know how children, they want to explore everything, they're curious about everything, they want to learn about everything. That's kind of his intriguement with you. Like you mentally intrigue him and you pique his curiosity. However, what I'm seeing is I don't feel like he's interested right now at this point in time. Now, this could change in the future, but in terms of his feelings towards you, I feel like this is kind of like a playful type of curiosity, and definitely possibly even a sexual curiosity, or very sexually kind of attracted. So it's been 2 years. It still doesn't mean that he can't be intellectually. It's okay. So let me get through this. Maybe this will make sense. So you guys, I'm getting the energy that you guys aren't even. I want to know why the energy came through that this was more of an interest than somebody you're already involved in with. With. Are you currently dating or friends? Because what I'm seeing is even with this 10 of Cups, like this is happiness, but there's two children playing there. This is like an innocent childlike happiness and playfulness. That it isn't really, children don't have, well, they have committed relationships, but they don't, it's not the same as an adult relationship, right? Um, and with the Ace of Wands and behind that, there's a lot of like sexual energy to it, but not, it's very, like wands, when I see them come up a lot in relationship readings, it's more of a friends with benefits kind of thing or a very sexually oriented relationship. Something with a lot, because wands are passion. The Knight of Pentacles coming up reversed. The Knight of Pentacles is what was giving me this commitment, along with the Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands is often seen as a marriage card as well. And the fact that it's reversed, with the Knight of Pentacles is a lack of commitment. It's like on the surface it seems very committed, but underneath not so much. And that's what I said, like he's interested, but I don't feel like it's anything serious. It's more like, you know, the way that it's coming through is a new shiny toy. Like a kid on Christmas when they're opening their Christmas presents and they're like, oh, I got this, and they're like all happy because they got this new toy, and then 3 months down the road the novelty wears off and they just couldn't care because it's that like new shiny toy syndrome. Not that I'm saying you're the new shiny toy and this is a new thing, but that's kind of the energy and that's coming through with this, that it's not like a serious. Yeah. I feel like that though he doesn't want to commit, or he's no, I'm not going to say that, you know, this will never, commitment will never happen, because I'm reading present energies as of this moment, right? And those energies can shift and change. Like a week from now, he might change his mind and somehow shift into committed mode. You know, that could change at any point in time, really depending on what he wants. But reading the energies right now, it seems like he's very contented with the way things are at the present moment. And he doesn't really want to change anything or move forward onto something more committed. Because knights are movement. And the fact that the knight reversed, even though that's Knight of Pentacles is very slow movement, that's also very committed. The Knight of Pentacles is the most committed, well, maybe not the most committed, but when it comes to movement, he's very committed to moving forward. Like he's the most committed knight out of all of them. And the fact that he's reversed is like there's no movement forward. Like they're good with where they're at. And moving forward towards that Four of Wands, that would be moving forward and steadily, slowly and steadily, even towards marriage or commitment or the next step up of things. Like the Four of Wands is the next phase where you go from friends to dating, dating to marriage, right? You take those steps. I feel like because it's reversed, he doesn't want it. He's got no intentions right now of taking those steps. Now, that's not to say that he doesn't care about you and that he doesn't, you know, there's a 10 of Cups. I do feel like there's a lot of love and caring there for you, but he's just kind of content with where things are. And I don't think that he really wants to move on to anything different. Now, again, that might change. Kim, I believe the cards come out the way that they're meant to come out. I don't shuffle them per se. I literally lay them down and I mix them up before I start the readings. I feel like whatever way they fall when I'm putting them back together is whatever way they're meant to be. I know there are readers out there that don't read reversals, but trust me, they do read reversals, even if they don't read reversals, because they use what's called elemental dignity, which tells you whether it's the good side of things or the bad side of things being brought out. So every reader reads reversals in a sense. It's just a matter of how we read them. Whether we actually read them reversed or we, you know, kind of run off our intuitions on whether there's negative things, bad things. But reversals for me can represent several different things. They can represent internalized energy, they can represent stuck energy, they can represent a need to reflect on things, they can represent, there's so many different ways reversed ones can be read. It's just what comes through intuitively. But that's what the cards are telling me. I do feel like you want it to be very different because the Queen of Wands is coming up reversed on the bottom of the deck. And they pulled that one back to me. Like, I was gonna put it down and they were like, literally, it felt like the deck just kind of flew back at me, like they were pulling my arm back. So to me, that represents that what I'm saying may not go over the greatest, as I'm seeing, and that you may still want to hold on to other ideals, which is totally up to you. I can only tell you what I see in the cards. What you do with that information, or if you even choose to believe what I'm saying, is completely up to you. Yes, but what I'm saying is this is the upright, this is the expressed energy, but this is the energy that's under the surface. So if this were the horizon line, right, when the sun's under the surface, we don't see this energy. That's what I mean. Like, this is what's lying under his surface. But this is what he's expressing. Oh, happy-go-lucky. I want this commitment. I want this and I want that. But underneath, this is what's underneath. So, but again, I can only tell you what the cards tell me. So, hopefully that was helpful. There is an interest there. I'm not saying that there isn't. I'm not saying he doesn't like spending time with you and that he's not interested. I'm just saying that commitment doesn't seem to be in his thing. I can enjoy being with somebody and want to spend time with them, but not necessarily want to commit to them and take things to the next level. I do it all the time. You're welcome. Okay, guys. So I'm going to jump off of here because I have been on for 3 hours. And it is getting late. It is almost 1:30 in the morning here. So I'm going to go get some sleep. I thank you guys so much for joining me. And to thank you guys, everyone who donated, for letting me read for you. It's awesome. I love reading for you guys, and I appreciate the donations so, so much. You guys are amazing. I'll be back on Thursday, I believe. Thank you, Jennifer. I definitely will have a good night's sleep after I go ground some of this energy. Yeah, I'll be back on Thursday. I don't think I'll be on tomorrow night, but I'll be back Thursday if you guys want to join me. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Have a great next couple days, guys. Bye for now.